Hello there. My name is Fred Cusick, and I'm from a small town in Ontario, Canada. And this lesson is for week 1 of the Introduction to Music Production course at Coursera.org. Now, if I look old, it's because I am. I'm approaching 60. And when I first got into this computer music thing in the mid to late 1980s, the typical recording signal flow was far more complicated. And I'd like to give you a walkthrough of a typical recording signal flow through the studio in my basement here at home that I have today. Now, back then, it was a lot of MIDI cables everywhere, 2 synthesizers, 2 drum machines, and then the guitar and the amp, and everything was synced by a Commodore 64 computer running expensive sequencer software, and that's how we got the sound into the machine, which back then was a mixer and a 4-track tape recorder. Today the machine is an iMac, and I use USB wherever possible, and I try to do things on the cheap or bang for the buck because I'm not a pro. Anyway, I'd like to briefly show you some of the equipment and how I get the sound in the machine today. Now you got to have cables and assorted doodads to get things done. I just need a better way to organize all the various odds and ends. Now when it comes to microphones, I use a couple, but they're all USB. I just find it easier. I don't have long cable runs, so I don't require a XLR. I do have one XLR mic, but I use what's called a light snake USB cable. And this one I do use a lot. So that's my one XLR microphone. Now when it comes to getting guitar into the machine, if you don't have an amp handy, there's these products from Toneport, and it's a simple kind of a direct box. You use an instrument cable, plug in the guitar, and it's a USB output with also a headphone for monitoring. And the neat thing about this is it came with software for all manner of tones and effects that I had on a Windows laptop. Input for guitar. I also have one here from the M-Audio people that is a direct box, and this one I've used a couple times. It is a nice a little device, and it has a few types of inputs on here. You've got a XLR input as well as one for instrument jack there, RCA outputs. Yeah, it's just a simple direct box like Luden Stearns talked about. Guitar amps, and you know they have tape. This one has a tape CD output, 1/4 plug, phono plug. This one has a number of effects built into it. It's a nice little amp. It's not like my old Fender Super Reverb Tube amp from the 1960s, but once again, today things are digital and they're much more self-contained. I don't have all the effects boxes, the pedals kicking around anymore, because you get tons of sounds that come out of these things. Electric guitar. If I want to use the acoustic guitars, I can mic them or use like a Barkus Berry pickup. There's always the use of the instrument plug to 1/8 mini plug cable to get stuff into the Mac. I use GarageBand myself. I do have one synthesizer these days, a Casio, and it has rhythm tones and tons of patches for my needs. You might not consider an iPad or an iPhone as an instrument, but there are tons of software apps available at low cost or no cost that make the iPad or iPhone a beautiful tool for music creation. There's GarageBand built in, or you can get GarageBand these days various synthesizers from Moog, Korg, all kinds of sounds that you can create, tools. It is wonderful. And then if you want to get the guitar into an iPad or whatever, iRig makes great cables for that. This is kind of a generic one, but you've got your instrument plug that goes in the guitar, and a mini plug is the output. A USB hub is essential if you don't have enough USB ports or if they're an awkward spot. Thank you for watching. I apologize for using an iPhone for much of the video, and I welcome your feedback and criticism, because this is a course material and we're here to learn together. Thanks again for watching and your feedback.